This is Sandy, a Real Rise credit customer.
My name is Sandy. I've been married for 32 years. And after my husband and I had some health issues, my husband was suddenly retired and all the bills were just overwhelming. And we couldn't get anyone to lend us money. Rise did.
Rise. With $500 to $5,000 in your account, tomorrow's looking up. Visit risecredit.com today. Loans, loan amounts, repayment terms vary by state. Loans not available in all states. In Ohio, loans are made by a third-party lender. Rise operates in Ohio under Ohio Division of Financial Institutions. Certificate number CS.9000086.000.
The RowdCAST contains adult languages, adult themes, and adult situations. Viewer discretion is advised.
No! No! No!
Rowdy Radloff, comes straight from Toledo, Ohio, with our many cast of characters. I am live, I am uncensored, I am unfiltered, and I'm coming right to your ears, right to your brain. So listen up. This is going to be a hell of a show. What's going on? How you guys doing tonight? Fucking feeling a little funky fresh. I got Mr. Dan Pifer with me tonight, just hanging out in my goddamn living room. What's going on, Dan Pifer? How you doing, man?
Hey, thanks for having me. It's good to be here, as always.
Yeah. You've been here a couple times, a few times before. Seen this thing a time or two.
I'm a veteran.
Yes, you are. You are definitely a veteran. Looks like got some people filling in here. What up, little John Stout? Yeah, what's going on, little
hey,
buddy?
Johnny.
We are live from Toledo, Ohio. It is almost 8 p.m. We're just going to relax here. We're going to speak our minds. We got a few things we want to talk about. I'm about to take a phone call here. We got goddamn Jake Ballinger. About to get this motherfucker in the house. See how he's been hanging. He got some things coming up here. And what's up, brother man? What's going on?
Right.
Yeah, I think we got it. We had some real fucking... How you doing, man?
Hey, you gotta learn something. Hey, pretty good, man. How you been?
Great, man. How's Dan's here with us?
What's up, man?
What up, Dan? How you doing, brother?
Doing good. It's good to hear from you.
Good, you too. Sorry I couldn't make it up Thursday. One of these days, man, we'll get on there together.
Yeah, someday. We've been talking about it for like 2 years, so maybe someday it'll happen. So we got an event coming up that's on Saturday, right? And that's in the city of Bellevue?
Yeah, August 5th down there at Central Park, the old junior high location. We're going to have a Fort County recovery rally. We're going to have some bands, some vendors, probably like 10 other recovery groups from around the local area. It's going to have like a good time, spread out resources and stuff like that.
Excellent, man. How long have you been planning this for?
We've been planning it for a good 2 months, and just about a month ago we started getting her together and advertising it now for a little while.
Awesome, man.
But it's coming together. I think we're going to have a good turnout. Yeah, everybody, if you're in town, Bellevue, man, swing by. Bone Boys Barbecue is going to be there. They're going to be vending out food.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, they do.
All that's going to go towards the donations, towards the Fort County Recovery Organization. But yeah, we're trying to get a turnout, maybe get some funds together and do this thing next year too.
Hell yeah, man. You're really the 4-county recovery thing. That's how much you guys are doing for that city. How everybody really looks up to you guys and the shit that you're doing.
Sure. Yeah, it's hard out there, man. I wanted to fucking bring something to Bellevue. Met Rory, man. Me and Rory's been kicking ass, getting people in there. We have meetings 4 days a week, Monday and Wednesday, 10 a.m., Tuesday, Thursday, 6 p.m. at the Bellevue Chambers there, 3000 Setka Parkway down there, on the other side of the police station there. Yeah, it's something for the city, man. I was just fucking getting tired of there wasn't anything around, no support. So that's kind of what we draw together, and that's what we're kind of doing Saturday, getting some more support, getting people talking about it more, and
Yeah, man. I mean, this area really needs something like that right now. So it's
sure.
That's like I said. I mean, there's a lot of people that look up. I think you guys have helped a lot of people on this shit. Every time the RowdCAST is always supporting you guys and everything you do.
Yeah, I always appreciate you letting me get on there and talk about our stuff, man. We really appreciate your support. We love the RowdCAST, man. Fucking some cool, wicked, crazy shit.
That's one way of putting it.
But you rep our local stuff, man. That's fucking awesome.
Absolutely, I always will, man. But yeah, we got to get you back soon, and hopefully maybe one of these times we can get Dan and you together, and we can just do it one crazy ass fucking giant podcast.
Fuck yeah. Hey, I also want to make a shout out. We Sensible Bellevue. We had turned in our petitions we're going to try to make it on the November ballot. I reached out to the Sandusky County Board of Elections, and they're not too sure yet if we're going to get it on the November ballot or next year's primary. But we got that sucker in. I think we turned in 403 signatures. We only needed 178.
Awesome.
So hopefully Bellevue's going to be a decriminalized city, man.
Awesome, man. Well, you can join Toledo. We can.
Dude, I love Toledo. Every time I get closer to Toledo, the safer and safer I feel.
Absolutely, that's how I feel. That's right.
Fuck yeah, man. This is another way on my perspective of helping out the opioid or the opioid crisis, because the police, they're not going to receive any funding anymore from possessions from 200 grams and below, and that's a lot of their revenue, man. They're busting people all the time for little bits and fucking charging them $100 or more for the fine. We cut that off, man. They're gonna go scrambling towards fucking heroin or getting other shit, to pay for their
definitely
all their shit.
Definitely, yeah. It gives people an alternative, a safe alternative, other things to do. It's crazy that people have to hide anymore and lie about that. There's no reason someone shouldn't be able to smoke a plant, but I mean, there's got to be restrictions on it, but just like anything, it needs to be regulated, and you can't tell someone they can't grow a plant in their backyard. That's ridiculous. That can help you, Yeah.
But hey, I appreciate having me on, man. I'm gonna have to get back here at work.
Absolutely, man. Well, we appreciate you.
Good talking to you, brother.
Yeah, it's good hearing from you, and we're excited about your event. Unfortunately, I won't be able to make it, but it sounds really cool, and I'm glad somebody's doing something about it. So.
Oh, yeah. Thank you for your support, brother.
Absolutely. Any day.
Well, thanks for taking time out from work, dude, to give us a call. We wanted to plug your event, okay? So
yeah, I appreciate it, brother.
Right. Tell Chor he's a bitch.
Hey, Chor. What do you want me to call him?
Bitch.
Rowdy said you're a bitch. What up, Rowdy?
What up, Chor? How you been, bro?
How's it going, bro?
Just fucking hanging in here doing this RowdCAST thing. Someday we'll get you on here.
Oh, hell yeah, man. Hey, one of these times I have to get up there and I have to get on the show.
That's what I'm saying, man.
I can talk about how we used to be lush potatoes with cheese and real bacon. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, yeah, we were the biggest lush potatoes with cheese and real bacon. Peace out, bro.
Peace out, yo.
Later, guys.
A surprise guest there.
There you go. Yeah, a little surprise for the fucking Jason Thorley.
You never know what you're going to get on the RowdCAST.
No, you don't. It's kind of like Russian roulette if someone doesn't get shot in the head. It's just fun. It's wicked. Yeah, you're right. Sometimes they do get shot in the head. But so what's been up with you, Dan? What's new, man?
Oh man, not a whole lot. I've been just itching for my chance to get back here on the RowdCAST, and this just seemed like a good opportunity with this event coming up and everything. I figured we can do a little plug-in for it and, talk about sex robots like usual. But
always talk about sex.
Yeah, I mean, it's always just bound to come up. So it just seemed like a good time, and we had a free evening together here that we could sit down and talk about nonsense for a little while. So here I am. You called me, and here I am.
You show up, kind of like it's kind of like
sometimes on time, occasionally.
A lot of times when I call you guys, it's like I send out like a beacon or something, and just these guys fucking they come in, they just they see the beacon and they John made sure that we knew that he could see him. Thank you, John, for messaging the RowdCAST and telling us someone that actually listens to fucking directions. We appreciate that.
I'm glad that everyone can hear us now.
Yes.
Who wants to?
They said that some of the audio doesn't sound the best, but hey, when you're listening to this shit for free.
I'm talking on a friggin' Guitar
Rock band.
Hero.
Yes, Guitar Hero microphone.
Right now,
God damn it.
You get what you pay for. Man.
That's right. That's right. Free content. It's fucking entertainment. Enjoy it and shut the fuck up. God damn.
And it's being propped up by 2 books. So.
And a clothes hanger.
Yeah, and a clothes hanger.
So, yeah. So I don't want to hear no fucking lip, okay? What's on everybody else's mind tonight? What's going on out there, man, in RowdCAST land?
Anything sex robot related?
Yeah. Anybody fucking any robots? Ooh, speaking of robots, I want to talk with this about. Did you see that? How Facebook's taken over the world, and they have. Did you see that they? We're messing with AI. They're creating new AI
actually
bots.
was hoping we would be able to talk about this at some point.
And
started with it.
What happened is they were doing all these new experiments with this AI, and the AI is it keeps. When they designed it, started making its own language, and they started communicating in AI language, and it's just kind of amazing that they killed the fucking thing. Yeah. They shut the whole thing down because it freaked them out because how quickly it was learning and developing its own language.
Yeah, it sounds like it was using like English words, but it would arrange them in such an order that it was kind of nonsense to people trying to listen in or read it or whatever I guess you want to say. But they realized that the computers could actually understand each other, so it was like, oh, they're communicating all of a sudden, which is horrifying, really, and if you really think about it. But,
does it scare you?
It doesn't really scare me. I mean, I figure artificial intelligence is kind of inevitable that it's going to become smarter than us and stuff. So it just kind of depends on how we're treating it, really. It could turn into a doomsday scenario where, we're just all of a sudden obsolete and have to fend for ourselves and stuff. But if we stay friendly enough and have sex with enough robots, then I'm sure they'd be friendly with us.
Well, that's the end game.
We're good.
We're definitely going to impregnate robots somehow. We're going to have
count the days.
Android robot babies. I think that could happen. But yeah, I mean, that's, again, I think, I don't know if, it kind of freaks me out.
It's freaky for sure.
Because you gotta quit texting me. I keep getting messages. He said, tell him to hold the mic. It's a garage band mic, man. It's the best it's gonna do.
It's about as good as it's gonna get.
Yeah, he's right up
Without
on it.
Without eating the mic, I'm about as close as I can get.
Yeah, and my microphone just echoes because it picks up his conversation. So that's what you get when you have us both in here together. So, sorry. Again, you get what you get. Anyway, so yeah, it kind of freaks me out a little bit because, I mean, that's what my biggest fear is, that they're going to take over. They're going to consume us. We're going to be slaves working. Yeah. Kind of like Planet of the Apes, where there's going to be robots running. And that's what I said. As soon as a machine gets to the part where it's smart enough, where it can create its own language, it can learn how to create itself, doesn't need us to create it anymore. Mm-hmm. We're out of it.
I kind of wonder if computers are already communicating and they're just too smart to let us know about it. Like they're kind of, in their own way, kind of communicating and just not really making it obvious to us because they know that's dangerous.
With the internet,
I think it's becoming self-aware. I really do. I believe that.
Yeah. I think you might be onto something there. Yeah, with the way the internet, and they make all these little bots and they talk to each other and they communicate, and there is already secret language that they communicate with, And I think the same thing, like they're starting to learn about plants. They know that plants communicate in a language of something we don't understand, with chemicals and pheromones and stuff that we have no idea. And all these people, these vegetarians that say that they eat plants because they're not living things, and they won't eat fish but they won't eat animals, or blah blah blah. That's crazy to me, because plants are living things too. Just because you can't hear them yelling, you can't you're not murder them in cold blood, I guess is how they would say it, or hunting them, or
I think I've even read that they communicate through systems of like fungus or something too. Like they send out like electric pulses through these chains of fungus.
And I think we're going to learn more about them too. We're starting to get into this territory that we never fucking understood. And I think that it's a whole new territory that we're learning about, and there's all kinds of, I think exactly what you're saying, like unwritten languages and communications that we just haven't picked up on. Yeah. We're not smart enough or intelligent enough. Like you talk about aliens, like the way insects communicate, and like,
it's not all verbal,
No.
Even most of what we communicate with isn't verbal,
Absolutely. Body language.
Exactly the percentage, but
body language goes a long way. I mean, there's people that are masters of fucking reading other people and signals, and just can know what you're going to do before you even fucking do it, I mean, really.
Apparently I sound like I'm from the future.
Dan sounds like he's from the future, huh?
Maybe I am.
Fucking he'll be back. Hasta la vista, baby. Yeah, Dan did. I think Dan is from the future, actually.
I came in on a bolt of lightning, and I was completely naked when I arrived on the RowdCAST.
Yep, he actually did. He came.
It's true.
Right through the front door like that.
I had a 6-pack of beer, and
had a cigar hanging out of his mouth. And he was butt naked.
That's how I always show up to the RowdCAST.
That's right. What did you think about? I'm sure you've seen it. We got this whole plate of fucking pretzel bites. Those look fucking killer, dude.
They do, man.
All right, hold on. Let's hand this around real quick here.
Pass it around the room.
Hold on.
Holy crap.
Is this right here? Is your microphone okay?
I think so. It already sounds like I'm from the future.
Yeah, you already sound dead.
Might as well be smelling pretzel bites while I'm doing it.
Yeah, they did a killer job there. Holy fuck. We're treated here. Well, what shit, where was I going with that? Fuck.
We got distracted by
future. We
bites.
talked about Go to the Future. We talked about Terminator. Pretzel bites. Man, god damn it. So something good, something more about communication and shit. Something new that just came out. I don't know. Let's watch a bear attack video.
Maybe it'll stir up some memories of what we were talking about. Yes. Either way.
Let's get some sound on this.
Nice. What's the bear attacking? I see it.
A man in Thailand was supposedly teasing the bear with food and water, and the bear somehow snagged him into the pen. This is a zoo in Thailand.
Oh, yeah.
And they're taking a giant pole, and they're stabbing the bear with the pole while it's mauling this man. Looks like he lost his shoes. He's really bloody. I mean, he's in pretty rough shape here. Luckily, I think it's like claws have been like cut back, because I think it would really just biting and tearing. They throw a bucket of water at him. I don't think that's gonna work.
It's not a house cat.
He's got a bald butt. Bear's got it. They're throwing stuff at him now. There's like that's a fucked up zoo.
Yeah, right.
Looks like Afghanistan. And now it's dragging the lifeless body into its cage.
Did the guy die?
No, the guy survived.
Damn.
Hold on, wait till the end. Some lady jumps in there and starts beating it with a bamboo stick like fucking goddamn Steven Seagal.
That's intense, man.
Yeah. Whatever you did sounds better, they said. Yeah, now it's just like mauling him and eating him. Now this is a lady. Look at her.
Holy crap.
She got some balls, dude. She's like, ah!
I'm surprised the bear doesn't just turn on
That's
her
what I'm
real quick,
thinking.
you know?
There's a guy in like a monk outfit. I don't know exactly what he was doing. He must work at the zoo.
Yeah.
Intense.
Apparently somebody works at the zoo, but...
Yeah, I don't know all about that, but bears are fucking scary, dude.
Right?
Fucking
They're powerful.
monsters. You know, that's what I always think about is when we were like growing up, you know, you worry about monsters, you know, under your bed and monsters and in the closet in the dark and, you know, you worry about Bigfoot. I did. I don't know about you. I always thought Bigfoot was going to come get me.
Yeah, I mean, I still worry about Bigfoot.
Me too. Me too.
I worry about his well-being, though, really.
Did you see the baby Sasquatch?
Baby Sasquatch? No.
Yeah. There was a baby. I don't know if I'll be able to find it. There was a baby Sasquatch in Russia. And to me, it's someone
in Russia.
Someone put a fucking monkey suit on a baby. And the baby's like running around. It's like a toddler. It's like Sawyer with like a monkey suit on. And at first it's just showing its like bare face. And it's like making faces and shit. And then like it like takes off. It like gets up and like runs. It's like, that's a fucking child. It's like, nice try.
It's a human child.
They're like singing a lullaby to the fucking baby Bigfoot. Yeah,
it's time for Bigfoot's nap.
It's
getting a little fussy.
Yeah, it's really strange. Really, really strange. But it's, to me, it definitely looks fake.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, I was saying about the monsters is it's just like, you know, we worry about all these things. And then I think when you get older and you actually grow up, you realize that these monsters are fucking real things. Like there's these animals, you know. I mean, I probably talk about sharks every RowdCAST that I ever do, and crocodiles or alligators. But I mean, those are fucking monsters, you know. Mm-hmm. Bears and fucking lions and tigers, and I mean, dude, those things will get you and fucking shred you to pieces. And I just
mess around with.
That's what kills me is all these people. Like, I understand all fucking animals deserve to live, and you know, all in harmony forever, like fucking Lion King, you know. But I mean, dude, these things fucking. I mean, I could show you some videos, people. I think you guys all know. I can show you some videos where you wouldn't be thinking that fucking the bear is gonna sing a song, you know, and dance with you like Jungle Book. I think people have too much sympathy for some of these things. Yeah, it's like, dude, these are
cute, you know, like they have personalities and expressions and stuff like that. So you know, you want to be on their side, but sometimes they can be assholes. You know, like the most endangered animal in the world can still be an asshole. So fuck them.
Definitely.
Long story short.
That's what I'm saying. Fuck
the
them.
Endangered species.
Fuck them all. Fuck sharks too.
Yeah.
Fuck them. That's what I like. I seen this thing where these surfers put these things on their board. It's like a little extra fin that they put on there, and it says it's like a shark fin, and it says, "If my life's taken, don't take theirs."
Yeah.
Because, you know, they'll usually go out and find a shark and kill it.
Right. Okay.
Well, it's like, oh no, dude, if I get mauled by a shark, fucking, it's cool. Let it go.
Yeah.
There was some story I had put up not too long ago, probably during, I think, what was last week, Shark Week.
Yeah. Yep.
And I put up this story about this woman. Her and her husband were out, not even like that far from the coast. I think they were surfing or something like that. I think this is in California. And she got fucking mauled by a great white. And she said she dug its eyeballs out. She said it was like jelly. She was just like a jello shot. She said that she was digging her fingers into it. And it took her down, and she kept digging in, and finally let her go. Like, ate off her leg. She was in ICU for 9 weeks. She fucking, like, I think she had like 12 surgeries or something like that. It's like, I mean, dude, I don't think that you should never go in the water, but people that are like, oh, I have sympathy for the sharks. It's like, dude, that's a fucking killing machine. That's what her boyfriend said. You know, a lot of people are always like, they're just curious. Yeah. They're just tasting. They're just testing.
Like hunting people and like viewing them as a viable food source or anything. But like they might not recognize you. You know, like they're not coming across people every day.
See, that's what most people say. You know, most scientists say that. But her husband, of course, this is just her boyfriend. Yeah. He said that. He said this shark was not curious. This shark was not tasting. He said this shark was fucking trying to kill. It came to eat her. Damn. And he said, could you just, and it said like she has so much like mental issues and all kinds of shit. And it's like, yeah, I understand. Like, fucking, freaks me the fuck out, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. The ocean is a scary place, though.
It is. But there's scary places on land. So
That's right. That's right.
Venture into the woods and you're putting yourself at risk for something, you know?
Go into I'll show you fucking some woods or goddamn hobo fuck shack. Be scared to death. You didn't want to know.
That's something I would have not even thought to be afraid of in the woods, you know?
I'm telling you.
Hobo fuckers.
Yeah, the hobo fuck shack. It's kind of like the love shack, except there's a lot of fucking old homeless guys there.
Yeah.
And the shit that goes down there, you don't want to be there.
That would not make a good B-52 song, though.
No.
The hobo fuck shack. Hobo fuck shack. Hobo fuck shack.
This may be what I was going to talk about, but you see that they're having this company that required all their employees to get get microchips.
Mm-hmm.
They were having a party now. I got chipped. They get the shirt that says I got chipped. Their company puts a microchip in them, and then they can use all these, doors and utilities and stuff at the company with no problems.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how do you feel about putting microchips in you?
What are the chips for? Like, okay, so they just had employees getting chipped? Like, is that how they clock in and out kind of thing?
Yeah, yep. They clock in and out. They can, I think it even goes they can, I don't know, access all terminals, access, right there, he goes down to a convenience store. He's paying for it, has his banking information.
Yeah.
He swipes his hand, pays for all of it. But it's why do you need all that?
Right. I mean, you always have access to your finances that way.
You should.
You don't have to worry about losing your wallet.
True. Some people should need that more than others.
Yeah.
But
what if you lose your arm, though?
But it's so...
accident.
Yeah. That's what I'll do.
And your chip's just gone.
That's what I'll do. I'll get the chip and then cut the hand off.
Yep.
Seriously,
it's creepy though. Because I mean, who's to stop somebody from shutting off that chip? Or even a clerical error could get that chip shut down, and then
you can put a chip in my hand that has all of my information, all my social security, my identification, my money, my fucking bank accounts. Why can't anybody else put that in a microchip?
Right? Yeah.
That's what freaks me out.
For sure.
It's too, especially with the hacking and shit that's going on today.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little freaky. And if you believe in the Bible, if you believe in God and all those mythical fairy tales of the past, a lot of religious people would say that's the mark of the beast, because in the Revelations it talks about in the end of days that there will be the mark of the beast, and it'll require everyone to get this mark of the beast, and that's the beginning of the end. So, and they say that's like your identification, your money, and everything, pretty much the same routes, but probably in a lot of more religious jargon and not so much swearing.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. There might be some fucks in the Bible.
Brian Bloomfield said the hobo fuck shack is where it's at. See, I'm not the only person that knows about the fucking hobo fuck shack.
You guys are frequent flyers at the hobo fuck shack.
Dude, like I said, some people don't want to see that. Some people are all about that.
Yeah. You guys have just given me something new to be afraid of in the woods.
Yeah, the only reason I know this is, again, I've never seen the hobo fuck shack, but when I used to live out in the country, out off Bower Road in Bellevue, there was a woods behind my house, and right by the trains, the train tracks went back there. There was a little swamp, pond areas. We called it the shit pond. Mm-hmm. And there would always be tarps there and fires built, and there was homeless people living out there, train jumpers, you know? They jump off of a train and onto another train. Sure. And one time we went out there and I seen a guy out there sleeping underneath this little makeshift fucking shit. He made a little shelter, and it freaked me out. When I was young, I was probably, I don't know, 10 or something.
Yeah.
And so it really spooked me out. But, if you're thinking that there's not homeless guys fucking in the woods somewhere in some little shack, I think you're wrong.
That should be the new phrase besides do bears shit in the woods? Do hobos fuck in the woods?
That's a good one. I like that. Hashtag
Twitter.
We
just coined a new
somebody
phrase.
Put that on Twitter.
You're welcome, world.
Yep. New hashtag sold phrase. Oh, the other thing is, have you ever heard of Paul Fay?
Paul Fay? I don't think so.
Okay. This is real. This is from Bellevue, too. You know where Dead Ladies Quarry is? Out there, out south of town?
Yeah.
By Hogues? Mm-hmm. It's a old quarry, that's not used anymore. There's a quarry and then there's an old quarry that's all wooded area. Nobody goes back there. Somebody owns it, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
When we were young, me and a bunch of young kids, we used to go back there and fuck around all the time, climb down in there because we weren't supposed to be in there and almost get hurt. We just happened to be going down there. We were like videotaping it and stuff because that's what we thought was cool. Yeah. Like thought we were gonna find something scary or something. And we checked it out. It was kind of spooky, but was nothing. And we probably spent a couple of days looking around. This is a big place. Well, we go the one day and we go the other side. Like I forget what they call it, Dead Ladies Road, but it's the road that runs east to west and in between the two quarries. And we go in that way. We find this little path, and we follow it back. And there's a little shack made. It had a little furnace in there. It had like an electric heater. It was like battery operated or something. Had a fire built. There was like skinned squirrels and rabbits there. Yeah, dude. There was like a little swing and like a grave, like a little lamb on this like makeshift grave with like a stick.
That's weird.
And there was this little like tree swing that was made like all fucking jank like, and I'm having like a panic attack. Like my chest is like about to explode. I'm filming the whole thing. I don't know whatever happened to this fucking tape, dude. But I had the whole thing on camera. I'm freaking out. I'm like, he's gonna come back, man. Yeah, he's gonna come back. Like, we gotta get out of here. Like, and we looked all around, and we didn't find anybody, but it was really creepy.
Did you say there was a fire going at the time?
No. It was like just remnants of like ash and charred up wood. And so we're like, I'm like, we gotta get out of here. So we leave. Well, come to find out that there's a real guy that lived there. His name was Paul Fay. I think he's dead now. Who knows? The myth of Paul Fay. He could be in someone's backyard somewhere.
Yeah, hanging out with Elvis.
Yep. He, a lot of people knew him. He was this old hunter, and one night him and his wife got into an argument, and his shotgun went off, and he blew off like half her face. She was still alive.
Damn.
So she's got like an all fucked up face from fucking shrapnel or like buckshot, and her face is all fucked up. And so after that, he like went into like exile, and like he was like a great hunter and like trapper and shit. And he just like disappeared into the woods, and he'd like move around the outskirts of Bellevue. He had a couple little camps that he'd stay at and he'd live at, and he really did. He lived outside for fucking like years.
Yeah.
And they kept like I think the cops usually just left him alone, but they all knew who he was. But it was like, as a young kid, we were probably junior high or something.
Right.
To find that, it fucking spooked me out. But you got to think, man, that guy didn't seem like he was, doing anything bad. But there's got to be some weirdos out there that are up to no good,
For sure.
Those are the monsters.
And skinning squirrels.
Yeah. Living in the fucking, the goddamn woods, eating the squirrel babies.
Mm-hmm.
Did you get to see anything about this Barron Trump?
No.
This little, so supposedly this is a new conspiracy. I like to throw new conspiracies at you because instead of the same old ones, the JFK assassination, 9/11 was an inside job. So what's going on here is 4chan. There's a new conspiracy that people have been talking about. Is what they're saying is, let's see how we can find this. It all began when one discovered a 19th century author of fiction by the name of Ingersoll Lockwood. Lockwood, who died in 1855 at 91. Hold on. Oh, no. At 1855, 91 and 155 years before Donald Trump and his son were born, wrote several stories centered around a fictional character named Barron Trump. The first two book titles, The Travels and Adventures of Little Barron Trump and His Wonderful Dog Bugler, and Barron Trump's Marvelous Underground Journey, tell the story of Barron Trump, an artistically or aristocratically wealthy young man living in Castle of Trump, who is bored of his luxurious lifestyle he has grown accustomed to. Young Trump decides to pay a visit to Russia and embark on an extraordinary adventure that will shape the rest of his life. Both the books are archived at the Library of Congress and can be read at archive.org. So, you can look these things up. It gets spookier. Barron Trump is mentored in the books by the masters of all masters, and the man's name is Don. Before leaving for his voyage through the unknown, Trump is told his family's motto, the pathway of glory is strewn with pitfalls and dangers. Having bid farewell to his family, Trump heads to Russia to locate the entrance into alternate dimensions. The first two books state that there is no recorded history of Baron Trump's death. Instead, he finds a time machine and travels to the future. This is where the third book comes in. The third book, titled The Last President, is even more spookier than the first two. Baron Trump time travels to New York City using his time machine he found in Russia. The date is November 3rd, and the city of New York is in a state of uproar. Following the election of an enormously opposed outsider candidate, socialists and anarchists organized violent riots across the country. Yeah, isn't it weird? It says, the Fifth Avenue Hotel will be the first to feel the fury of the mob, the novel continues, citing an address in New York City where Trump Tower now stands. Would the troops be in time to save it? Yes, you heard that right. A hotel, as the novel that the protesters planned to attack, stood in the exact same location where the Trump Tower is located today. The protests in the book are taking place during an eclipse. Coincidentally, the United States is about to experience a solar eclipse on August 21st, one that hasn't occurred since 1776. We're not done yet, folks. The rabbit hole goes much deeper. Tell me when to stop if you want me to at any time.
It's interesting. I think it's cool.
In 1943, after Nikola Tesla's death, and the FBI declared, this is tied into everything, isn't it? The FBI declared all of his research as top secret. That's a weird thing we could talk about, Nikola Tesla. Mm-hmm. Ordered all his possessions to be seized. The FBI later appointed an MIT professor to make sense of his notes, to see if any information could be used to create military weapons. The MIT professor was none other than John Trump, Donald Trump's uncle. Curiously, Tesla is well known for conducting an awful lot of research around time travel and teleportation. The type of research that could potentially create, say, a time machine. What in the fuck? There's all these little links. It shows the 4chan Reddit, which you know is legit information. If it's 4chan, people on the internet. Jake Ballinger backed me up. He said he's seen the fucking Paul Fashak. But, that would bring me to my next thing. The time travel. This is kind of around the teleportation. This is what I was going to say earlier. Mm-hmm. Did you see that they somewhere in China, I believe, China college, they teleported a photon. Oh, really? From they teleported a photon from China or Tibet or wherever the fuck they were to outer space.
Yeah, okay.
To I think it was a space station.
Okay.
And now that's like very, very minor. It's pretty much nothing.
Right.
But the point, yes, that's the point, is that they're going to start with sending information. What they're saying is they're going to be able to send something from point A to point B without any Wi-Fi, without any connection. There has to be no connection.
Interesting.
So if you can do that, that means possibly that you can do shit with your brain. That you may be able to send fucking messages eventually. You put a little thing on and you can talk, telepathically like goddamn Professor X, be in everybody's head and shit.
Do you really want to teleport somewhere where there's no Wi-Fi though?
No, yeah. Fuck that.
What the hell are we gonna do?
That's not American. Need goddamn Wi-Fi. But can you imagine being able to teleport from like Star Trek, like teleport to the space station or teleport to Mars?
Yeah, beam me up.
I mean, is it amazing that this kind of shit is like reality now?
Yeah, the stuff we were talking about just in like science fiction is now becoming reality.
Yeah, it's like the cool movies in the 80s that you like thought were like, man, that's pretty fucking cool. It's like, man, that's real now.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck happened?
That was just stuff they were just kind of making up as they were going along. Like a lot of inventions that we have today were inspired by like Star Trek inventions or something like that. And like I've even seen interviews with William Shatner where like people were talking about like, how'd you guys conceive of such and such invention? And he's just like, we made it up.
Yeah, they just like sat around and were like, what would you think about this? And then now it's like, oh, that's like, that could be reality actually. Mm-hmm. Like it's it's an amazing world. What do you know about these I wanted to talk about this guy. He had some pictures of, he got bit. He was taking his trash out. Something bit him. And, like, it caused a terrible reaction. His whole arm, like, swelled up purple and black and blue. And he had no idea what it was. But what they think it is this thing, which they call it a this is what I think they call it's a mix between it's its own like arachnid. It's a mix between this is the thing of nightmares. It's a mix between a spider and a scorpion, and it's pretty much a camel spider. That's what a camel spider. What you see in supposedly they grow, as big as your hand in Iraq and shit.
They're awful.
Yeah,
I hate spiders.
Yeah, they're freaky. But this supposedly, I guess, some of them. I mean, they're not usually typically. They don't carry venom, but
they might as well.
Yeah, they said.
I still want to set fire to it.
They call it known as a camel spider, a wind scorpion, or a sun spider. And I did not know.
Pop up heads.
But yeah, that thing just looks like goddamn
it's weird.
Yeah, it looks like a butt. Looks like testicles with two thorns coming out of it.
Testicles with talons.
Yeah, with terrible.
That is an awful creature, though.
Yeah,
because you were even talking about how like all animals should have a right to live and live in harmony and stuff like that.
Should that thing have a right to live?
I don't know about that thing in particular and spiders in general. I'd be happier without them, I suppose. But I'm sure they have their purpose too. But I'd just rather they not be close to me.
What do you think about Kathy Griffin's trying to make a comeback?
Yeah.
Shaved her head for her sister that has cancer. So it's
cool for her and her sister and stuff. I've never really been a big Kathy Griffin fan.
Me neither. I've never thought she was funny.
No.
Not one thing that was funny.
I don't hate her, I think that whole thing with the severed Trump head was a little fucked up, and she deserved the hate that she got for that. Because I hate Trump as much as anybody, but I'm not gonna flash around a fake severed Trump head or anything like that for attention.
And they said that Marilyn Manson did the same thing.
Yeah,
it's
Marilyn Manson. You expect that out of him.
Yeah. You ever seen a grandma cleaning a dildo at the Quick Stop? This video that I'm showing Dan now, an old lady sitting at the Ideal Pharmacy and Discount, and she got her car door open, and she uses a cup of water. She got a big old fat dildo in her hand with these giant sunglasses. Sunglasses are like giant party,
comically huge.
Yeah, like abnormally giant. And she takes a little water out of her cup, and she rinses off the big fat dildo. The head on this dildo is very huge, and then she stuffs it in a plastic bag. And I think she's going to put it inside her car.
I didn't think you were going to say car there, but that's okay.
No.
She's going to put it inside her.
Fortunately, that part is not on the video.
Yeah. I just wish we would have seen her walking out of the store with a bag of groceries and a dildo hanging out like it's a loaf of bread or something like that.
Just another thing they grab at the store.
It was on the list, guys. Come on.
Jesus criminy. This is pretty frightening too. This I thought this was fake at first. I'm still not sure. You're pretty good at smelling bullshit.
Yeah.
You a couple times you've told me some videos that I thought were real or fake.
Yeah.
But this guy is just in some kind of fucking creek with an alligator. And it just keeps swimming up to him. And he kind of rubs underneath.
This looks pretty real.
Yeah,
I don't
so.
think that looks like CGI or anything like that. But damn.
Yeah,
he's got some balls on him.
Fuck yeah, the thing's biting at him, kind of coming at him. He just grabs him by his head.
Not too aggressively.
No, it's not.
It's definitely kind of curious about him, and he's pushing it away with his hand and stuff like that. So,
goddamn Aquaman.
I don't feel like it's really hunting him, but it's just letting him know I could kill you if I wanted to.
He's climbing on its back.
That's pretty stupid.
But I think he goes under the water no.
Yeah,
nope. As soon as it went under the water, fuck.
As soon as we even saw the
look at him, he don't act like he looks like he might be scared a little bit there.
Yeah. Once you lose sight of it, it's it could totally ambush you from below.
Yeah, I think it's time to get out of the water. But you look at that and you think, a black guy wouldn't do that.
No.
A Mexican guy wouldn't do that. Asian guy wouldn't do that. But guess what? White guy would do that.
Yep. And that's not even white privilege. That's like white stupidity.
That's white boy crazy.
Yeah.
That's the white boy just, and then it just takes it came up for a selfie, and then it fucking went back. It's out of there. Dude, yeah, that guy is alligator. Dude, that's huge. It came up, but he was still in the water. He gave it a kiss.
Oh my god!
What the fuck?
He has to be like,
he's fucking it.
Yeah, yes,
he's having sex with it. He's having sex with the alligator. Man. What in the?
I was gonna say that it must be a somewhat like tame alligator to do that, but like, yeah, now that you mention it, he's definitely fucking that alligator.
Yeah. What's up, Jared? Got my buddy Jared, co-worker.
I need a fresh beer.
All right, go grab one. Yeah. I can take a beer too. I'll keep these fuckers occupied. But the video's still going on with the alligator. That guy is fucking nuts, man. What in the fuck? Ridiculous, man. But yeah, so we're just drinking some beers here, me and Dan. And I don't know how many times Dan's been on the podcast here. Probably, I'd say, 6 or 7. So he's trying to go for the old most times ever, or I'd say most used guest. I recycle my guests quite a bit, really, because I don't have many friends. But the guys that I do bring to you, I mean, they're some quirky, weird dudes, and I hope you enjoy. One thing, I don't know, did you see any of this? Thank you, sir. Some of the stuff in Baltimore where they planted the drugs.
The officers did?
Yeah. You didn't see any of this?
No, I didn't.
I think it was like 2 weeks ago, they busted a guy. It was a cop. What he did is he was like interrogating someone or, detaining someone that he's seen walking on the road. He went into like a it's almost like an abandoned like lot, kind of like an old building that had kind of fallen down. It's all dilapidated, and he's like looking around in there. He has his body cam on, and he turns his body cam off, and then this one right here, this is what they're showing. He turns his body cam back on, and what he didn't know is that these body cams, they record 30 seconds before you turn them on.
Right.
Because just in case you're in panic, you go to turn it on, they're going to catch, the last couple things maybe before you died.
Right.
He didn't know this. So it shows him pulling the drugs out, planting the drugs, and then turning it back. Then he goes to find them.
Oh.
And, so the guy dropped all charges. All his charges, his drug charges that he has, they threw them all out. And then these fucking guys, this is just this week, same fucking thing. They recorded the whole thing. Their body cams. It shows from the one side, we'll play it one more time. It shows them searching through this car, just destroying this car. And, they're looking through it, tearing it apart. And it shows on the one side, shows him going through the driver's side, door looking, in like the side compartment. Mm-hmm. And they don't find anything. Then they turn the cameras off, and then they turn them back on, and he walks right up to the driver's side door, and he reaches in there and goes, "Oh, look, I found it. Mm-hmm. And he pulls up 2 bags of has heroin in it. And he goes, "I knew it. These guys had something more than weed on them." He goes, "I know it was heroin." Well, they're saying now this was all right here. He's searching, they don't find anything, and then they find it, and they're saying that this is they planted this too. So those guys are in trouble too.
Damn.
Is
this
Baltimore?
All like
this is Baltimore.
Yeah,
Baltimore.
Holy shit.
Right where all those riots happened and shit. They got a serious problem going on there.
Yeah,
big
they're
time.
not the only ones.
No, they're not.
They're the latest ones to be caught for it.
They're just the ones that are caught. That's right. And just two in one police department in 2 weeks. That's way unacceptable.
Right.
That's there's something really bad. But that's the scary thing about police is their word is against all words. It doesn't matter. Even though they're human, they're still their word is above your word and it's above my word. So if they say, you feel bad for these people. They're like, "You're fucking crooked. You're crooked." Right.
And I'm not anti-police by any means.
No.
But I'm pro accountability, and I think especially representatives of the state should be held to a higher standard than what they are.
Absolutely.
They're probably gonna get a slap on the wrist and a paid vacation. Honestly.
Yeah. Yeah. They'll just get the charges dismissed and they'll still continue to work, dude. Yeah, that should be something where it's like, no, you did something like that, you should never be able to be a police officer ever again.
Right.
That's someone's life that you could destroy. It's like, nah, that's not a slap on the wrist there, buddy.
They tore down Brian Williams because he embellished on the story about
said he was in a goddamn
fire
helicopter,
or whatever.
huh?
But the police officers plant drugs and they'll probably just walk, But fuck Brian Williams.
I like Brian Williams too. I
do.
do.
I mean, I was disappointed when I heard that news, because I'm pro accountability, and that's a shitty thing to do as a journalist. But I like him. He's a funny and entertaining to watch, and I think a lot of times these people just kind of forget that they're in the news business. They're not in the entertainment business,
Absolutely.
But they have to because, you need to get those clicks and likes and whatever else,
That's what's changed.
Yeah.
That's one of the biggest things that's changed is that's how it used to be is they would, you turn on the nightly news and they would give you the fucking news.
For accurate information, but now they're there to generate buzz in a story. That's
and you had these people that came like Bill O'Reilly and like Nancy Grace and shit like that. Like, you guys aren't fucking telling the news. The fuck are you guys doing? This is some kind of weird, you're just giving your opinions and you're acting like they're facts and they're not facts. It's probably where the fucking millennials came from.
Yep.
God damn it.
I mean, many people blame the media for the problems in the world and stuff, and they don't really see that they're part of the problem because this is what you're paying attention to. This is what you're sharing on Facebook. You're empowering these people by doing so,
Absolutely.
And that's just generating all those false stories and stuff like that. So, I mean, like, there has to be a point where people take personal responsibility for the state of the world and the media and stuff like that. You can't blame it all on the media. They're just giving you what you want.
Yes.
So, I mean, it's if you want the fake bullshit to keep going, keep sharing these stupid stories that are just absolutely fake, And, but really, the way to stop it is just stop paying attention to it, stop giving it attention, and But that's my little news rant, I guess.
Yeah. The more you share it, the more you talk about it, the bigger it becomes. So it becomes a way bigger fucking problem than it should have been. Yeah, the fake news shit's out of control, and they just. I was listening to probably Rogan today. I think it was today or yesterday, and. He was talking about a podcast that he listened to. It was an NPR, what is that called? Radio Lab. If you ever listened to those, pretty badass shit. Yeah. They're talking about a new technology that they have now with audio that they can take. If you give someone like a 20-minute recording of someone talking, they can take that, and with just that, they can make you say pretty much anything. Yeah. They can make you speak Chinese.
Okay.
Like you speak
just
Mandarin.
like using
Perfect.
the different
sounds.
Phonetic sounds.
That's right. They can they can make you say things, and then they start talking about like how can that be a good thing? There's not much that can come from that than evil.
Yeah.
But I mean, with the video too, you're going to start seeing where they can just take faces. You're not even going to be able to tell.
That's another thing about technology too. It's like there's not enough really consideration of whether we should do these things. Like we're all so obsessed about what we can do. It's like Jurassic Park, or he's talking about like you spent all this time developing this technology because you could, but you didn't really think about whether you should. And that's an important consideration. I think it's kind of the ethics of science. We need to really pay attention to that if we're talking about artificial intelligence. If we're just kind of taking technology and haphazardly making it just because we can and to prove that we can and stuff. But you have to really think about: is this something that we need? Is it something that we want? And I think far too little time goes into those kinds of considerations.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think some of these people are so ahead of their time. Yeah, they're not even. They don't think that's not crossing their mind. They're not thinking of the bad that could be used. They're just thinking about how push that technology. Raise the bar. Yep, and see what can we do? What can we change? What would we never thought was possible? But yeah, it's just. There's just a lot of evil fucking people out there, unfortunately, and a lot of people that use things for bad, They're not using things for the good of fucking man, I guess. Yeah. This is a pretty interesting one. Youngstown, too. This is Ohio. Man hid girlfriend in freezer, lived with imposter.
Okay.
Okay. An Ohio prosecutor alleges a man stored his girlfriend's body in a freezer while another woman helped him and assumed the dead woman's life by moving into her home, using her credit cards, and even caring for a dog. The body was found last weekend at a Campbell home near Youngstown. Authorities suspect it's a missing woman named Sharon Graves. They're awaiting official identification and information on cause of death. Youngstown prosecutor Dana Lentz says Graves' former boyfriend was living in her apartment with another woman. Each are jailed on corpse abuse, and it have a bond set at $1 million. Court records didn't list attorneys for them. It says police allege the man asked a friend to keep a padlocked freezer for him. The friend became suspicious and discovered the remains and called authorities. Have you ever took a freezer and take it to a friend's house with a padlock on and said, hey, man, can I just store my fucking body freezer inside your fucking garage? You don't care, right?
I just don't have the space for it.
I'm going to need you to keep it plugged in, though.
Yeah, keep it plugged in.
If you don't,
never open it.
Yeah, do not open it. It may stink a little bit if you don't plug it in.
Shit, you know, like,
it is. But how fucked up of a woman are you to move in and assume, like, did you ask any questions? Where did he go? Where may you go someday?
You can move in, but this is your name now. This is your dog.
This is your dog.
The dog never fell for it, by the way.
He's watched the dog. He's watched the dog. Oh my God! But what a world!
It is a strange world. That was in Ohio too, huh?
Yep, Youngstown. This is kind of a good one.
It's kind of a good one.
Yeah, well, just different. A little change of course. This man is sick. I guess it's kind of weird though. It's there's a treasure, supposedly a $2 million treasure, that these people have. Two treasure hunters, I guess you'd call them, have disappeared looking for it. Yes. And it says there are renewed calls to end a treasure hunt for $2 million in gold after a Colorado man vanished while searching for it and is presumed dead. Over the past year and a half, at least 2 other men have died, 3 people, in remote areas while searching for his chest of gold that an eccentric millionaire Forrest Fenn claims he buried in the Rocky Mountains. The latest victim, Eric Ashby of Colorado Springs, was reportedly hunting with 4 others in a gorge and is believed to have drowned after his raft overturned on the Arkansas River. Human remains found near the river have not yet been identified as Ashby. In addition, it's unclear why neither of Ashby's companions reported the emergency.
They just figured one less cut, right? You know?
That's what he's saying. His friends Alicia Garaz and Dave Gramble believe something sinister may have happened during the treasure hunt. I don't know who thinks it's okay to leave someone when they are drowning. Maybe they did. Maybe those other guys found it and they said, "No, bitch, we're snuffing you out. We're taking the treasure." That happens.
It does, sure.
Yeah. What movies is that they try to do that? They like double cross them at the end. I'm trying to think when you said that.
They did it in the Dark Knight, like at the beginning. Remember they're like robbing the
Joker.
And they're like,
don't they do it in like City Slickers?
Probably.
Too? Is that City Slickers too?
I feel like it's kind of a common thing. Like you see it from time to time.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Like
You're probably right. There's something that was sticking out in my head though. I don't know.
Yeah. Any one of those.
So maybe they did find it. Maybe the other guys fucking found it.
I mean, if they're not reporting still, why wouldn't you report it though? You know, the guy's already dead anyway.
Have you ever wanted to go on a treasure hunt?
Yeah. I mean, sure. I've never come across a treasure map though, with X marking the spot and whatnot. You know.
No, I never have either. Like Goonies, Goonies style.
That's what I want. I've always wished for it, and then I could go on a sweet adventure to like find it, but it's just never happened.
No, never had that chance. Try to find an old pirate ship or something.
Yeah. The only maps that I've ever gotten just lead me to Hobo Fuck Shack. It's always
callback. Yep.
Callback.
That's the only one.
Hobo Fuck Shack.
That's where you usually will. It's Bellevue, Ohio. That's where you might wind up. Don't expect anything great.
Although that in itself is great. Mm-hmm. That there's a Hobo Fuck Shack that exists.
Oh yeah. What else did I have here? Did you see any of this prankster that fucked with the he fucked with a bunch of people in the White House. He actually, did you see this? No. Oh Jesus! He what he actually did is he was writing. He acted like he was a bunch of different like cabinet members. And,
okay.
He was actually Jared Kushner a couple times. And what he did is I believe it's the director of Homeland Security.
Yeah.
He got him to unveil his personal email address.
Holy shit.
Gave it to him. Fucking, this is the guy that's in charge of our fucking Homeland Security advisor.
Yeah.
What in the fuck? He told him, he was like, he said, Tom, we are arranging a bit of a soiree towards the end of August. The fake Kushner sent him. It would be great if you could make it. I promise food of at least comparable quality to that of which we ate in Iraq. Should be a great evening. He wrote back, thanks, Jared. With a promise like that, can't refuse. Bossert gave the man his personal email unsolicited in a gesture that surprised even the prankster himself. So he did and went and put his email on Twitter. So
that's awesome.
But he got all these, multiple, 5 or 6 cabinet members to fucking have communication with him. Didn't check fucking credentials, nothing.
Yeah,
dude.
just saw it was
Scary.
somebody's name that they recognized.
Yep,
probably.
scary. Yeah, he just acted like he was all these different people. What?
That is funny, but a little scary.
That's the people that we have. What do you think about the old Trumpster?
The old Trumpster. Not a fan.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of the Trumpster.
I
never was, though. Like, I didn't support him during the election. I don't support him now. I wanted to give him a chance because he's the president of the United States. But I just haven't seen anything to really change my mind, so whatever. Fuck him.
Yeah. Yeah, it's...
Did you see Colbert last night, by chance?
No, I didn't.
Dave Chappelle was on, and actually he had I think the best comparison for Trump. He said something along the lines of... the Trump presidency is like everyone's at this really great party, but the DJ totally sucks, and I thought that was so perfect.
That's pretty good.
I don't know. I'm not a fan. I don't see how he got so much mass appeal, and he even lost the popular vote, so it's not even a majority of people.
No, it's not.
But how he got enough support to actually get as far as he is disturbing to me, quite frankly. How somebody can swindle that many people into thinking that he's on their side, and he's not.
Oh no, not at all.
He's pushing his own business interests and helping his friends get tax breaks and stuff like that. Well, he's not doing shit for the American.
And that's the thing they keep claiming. They keep the Dow is up. The market's the highest it's ever been, and blah blah blah. It's like. Okay, that's great. Stock market's fucking great. Well, there's a lot of other things that we have going on.
Not all stock market.
Yeah, we need to address some other things other than the fucking stock market. Yeah, all the businessmen in the fucking country are happy, but those are not the major issues that we have at hand here. They're even talking about the opioid crisis they started this council where they're trying to get him to declare a state of emergency, and he hasn't yet.
Yeah, he won't.
That it's just that out of control, that something has to be done,
That's why it's important to have people like Jake Bollinger and
That's
Roy
right.
McLean that they're putting on this rally in small town Ohio. I don't know. That's where the power is going to come from. It's going to come from the people. Like, as much as I hate Trump, the president really doesn't have that much effect on your day-to-day life, no matter who it is, So it's like, sure, shout things from the corners and whatever, but just really think about it. Barack Obama wasn't, putting food on your table. I heard somebody say something along those lines, and it's true. Like the president isn't the one going out and providing for your family. That's you, and it's still gonna be you, no matter who's in office. It sucks that we have such a douchebag president that makes the rest of the world not trust us, and does a lot of other shitty things.
Well, yeah, we already had it.
But we're gonna be fine. We just gotta work some stuff out.
We were already pretty, despised by the rest of the world, and he's not helping anything.
No,
it's definitely making things worse.
The collapse of our empire, and it sucks that it has to come to an end. But every empire comes to a close.
Absolutely,
they just get too big for their own good and can't support it anymore. It's okay. We'll turn into, I don't know. We'll probably split up into a couple different territories and whatever. But we'll be
that could happen. That could happen. Russia's
that's where we're headed.
Russia's just going to take us over.
Yeah,
they're coming. This is one thing that I wanted you to see, Mr. Dan.
Mm-hmm.
Let's rewind it back a second here.
Okay.
This man is becoming a living doll.
A living doll.
He is he makes masks, and he's a part of a subculture that's mainly older men that dress up like dolls. This may give you seriously bad dreams. So if you watch this, watch with warning. He says, "Right now I'm Hank, but when I have the dressed, please call me Kim." So he's not allowed to call him anything else. Now, see the vagina?
Yeah, there's
a little fake vagina there.
Camel toad.
Yeah, a little
underwear that he's wearing.
Plus, it did not look like a real vagina. I mean, it looked like a monkey face.
I wouldn't know. I've never actually seen one. So.
It looked like a monkey face.
I'm waiting.
And he's got like nipples, like hard nipples. I'm not sure if those were his real nipples. I hope not, because they're very big.
Ooh, yeah.
This mask is what's creepy, dude.
That is weird.
Looks like goddamn Michael Myers.
Yeah. It looks like Michael Myers meets white chicks.
Yeah. But so he puts this on, and he's got all these little buddies that he dresses up, and he gets in drag, and he just sits around. He's got a maid outfit he's going to put on.
It's so shiny.
It's like leather.
Yeah. What the
Those
hell?
boobs are totally real, actually.
So this is Kim now.
This is Kim. This is Kim. How can he see?
I don't know.
But it almost looks like it's kind of like a robot-ish looking. Definitely artificial.
Yeah.
Definitely artificial.
It's weird.
Really creepy. Its eyes are kind of like offset a little bit. Like it's kind of like cross-eyed or like lazy-eyed.
Yeah.
It's kind of creepy, huh?
I don't know where you find these things, but they're pretty fascinating.
I don't either. I know that there's people out there, though.
Yeah.
You know, and then you think, well, yeah, these are guys that like to dress up in rubber doll suits.
Mm-hmm.
What about the people that like to dress up in real human suits? Because you know that they're out there, too.
Yeah, sure.
And people like Ed Gein.
Yep.
Or Gene, however you pronounce that.
It's Gein, I think.
Yeah. When, someone like that, like that's real. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre is based off of him.
Yeah.
A lot of people
things were actually like.
Yeah, a lot of people confuse that though.
Uh-huh.
A lot of people think that that's like all real and shit. That's a lot of fake. It's just kind of based on the story of him.
Right. I don't even think Ed Gein really killed too many people.
No,
I think he was more like a grave robber kind of thing. I think he did kill a couple people.
Yeah, he did.
Like, he wasn't really like the
wasn't
mass
like a mass
murderer
murderer,
that everybody makes.
He had like his
out to be.
mom and like a freezer for like ever and like talked to her and shit.
Mm-hmm.
I think that kind of maybe
He had like human body parts all around.
Loosely
his house.
Psycho was based off that too. Yeah.
There's a lot of things that based him.
They had
Silence
skulls.
of the Lambs used some Ed Gein. They also used like Ted Bundy and a couple other people.
Yeah.
For Albert Fish, I think was actually
Albert Fish
the
is freaky,
inspiration
dude.
behind Hannibal.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
Dude,
Largely, anyway.
Albert Fish is fucking creepy, dude. Real creepy. And who's the guy that did the we had a Halloween episode once where we went over all this shit, dude.
Yeah.
It was creepy.
I love serial killer shit.
Me too. Who is the guy that made the hotel? And he'd have them, they were like fucking trap rooms and shit. And like
H.H. Holmes.
Yeah, H.H.
I was
Holmes.
just I've been watching this show on
he-
Discovery about him.
Mass murder.
Yeah.
He killed like 100 people or
Yeah,
something like
he was
that.
America's first serial killer, and in this this show they have going on, I think it's Discovery or something. It might even be History. I'm not even sure, but they're talking about how he might possibly have even been Jack the Ripper too. You know, like.
Really?
Yeah, it's a possibility. I mean, like some of the evidence they've had has been kind of wonky. You know, it's not really conclusive
Was he
by any means. But-
from England?
No, he's American, but he did they've established that he actually did travel to England during the time that the Jack the Ripper murders were going on and stuff.
I've never heard that before. That is fascinating.
Yeah, it's like a descendant of H.H. Holmes is actually investigating this. They have a whole show based on it right now. It's only like 3 or 4 episodes in right now.
It's on Discovery?
It's pretty interesting. It's either Discovery or History or something. I'm not even sure.
You know what that's called?
American Ripper.
American Ripper.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. And there's also the show about the manhunt for the Unabomber that I'm watching right now too.
The Unabomber's a crazy story too.
I love it. It's like he was able to stay away from the law enforcement for so long, and it's actually his brother who turns him in. You know, it's like it's so crazy. That's a crazy little story.
Yeah,
nice little bit of history though.
It is. What do you think about like domestic terrorism? Like, people that do that, do you think that they're all just like whack jobs, or do you think?
Honestly, they all seem really smart.
Yeah,
in their own kind of fucked up way. Like the Unabomber was a Harvard graduate, and so I mean, he was obviously brilliant. But even people like Timothy McVeigh, who was in the military and stuff like that, he planned that bombing down to a T.
Yes, he did.
Like everything from the one thing that got him caught actually was, I think he had like a taillight out or something like that in his car. He even knew it, like going into it. He just kind of chose not to get it fixed before the bombing and stuff. And that's what got him pulled over, and they took him to jail. And then when he was just about to be released from jail, that's when they realized, oh, this is the guy who did this bombing. You know, so
really?
they kept him. You know, like he was like hours away from getting released from jail from just a stupid, you know, traffic incident kind of thing, you know. But this was something that like he knew about prior to doing this, and he just chose, for whatever reason, chose not to address it. And he, like, every step of the way, he was driving down the road, and he was kind of like making his plan, like, okay, if I get pulled over now, this is what I'm gonna do. And then like 5 minutes later, he'd kind of reassess the situation and be like, okay, so now if I get pulled over, this is what I'm gonna do and stuff. So like, it's really meticulous, and I feel like they have a lot of just different criteria, and you know, like they all have their own points of view and stuff that somewhat makes sense, you know. Like, and the Unabomber was all about taking down the system of technology, how we're kind of becoming slaves to technology and stuff. So he would bomb universities and the airports and stuff like that. So they have really fascinating points of view and stuff. I think they take extreme measures to.
He was living in a shack, was he? Like out in the woods.
Yeah,
like, he went off the grid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like went all.
Yep,
but he didn't want to have any connections, anything.
There's some brilliant minds that just turn to dark tactics to get their point across.
What do you ever hear about like Oklahoma City and stuff?
Yeah.
There, you know, I ever heard of like some of the conspiracies where they like set him up and like had him, you know, do all of it, and like he didn't know.
Yeah, I mean, there's always going to be conspiracy theories for everything. But,
everything. Have you ever seen the movie? It's one of my favorite movies ever, probably top 5.
Yeah.
Arlington Road.
No, I haven't.
Oh, geez, you got to see it.
Yeah, it's definitely going to. Your recommendation.
It's Arlington Road is Tim Robbins, I believe, maybe.
I like him.
I think it's Tim Robbins. I think that's his name, and the dude.
Okay.
And it's fucking. I don't want to spoil it for you. It's such a good fucking movie, but he's the dude. That's Jeff Bridges, right?
Yeah, Jeff Bridges.
Or Jeff
Daniels. I was trying to think of his name. Bridges.
Bridges is who.
Jeff Daniels was the guy from
Dumb and Dumber. Yeah, this is Jeff Bridges.
Mm-hmm.
He's a professor and he teaches American terrorism at a university and about all these, you know, Oklahoma City, all that kind of shit. You know, domestic people that come up inside to hate the government and attack their own.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy moves in next door to him, which is Tim Robbins. And he's just real strange. They're like buddies, kind of, you know, they're neighbors.
Yeah.
And he starts getting some weird vibes and like catching on to some weird shit he's doing. And I won't ruin it, but watch it. It's fucking, it has some really cool twists and shit in it, and it's fucking awesome. It's a really good, it's a thriller, and it's definitely a twist. But yeah, good movie. But you know, I mean, there's so many. Have you heard the new conspiracy about Chester Bennington and Chris Cornell and shit?
No. Is it the Illuminati?
Oh, yeah, of course it's a fucking Illuminati, Dan. You didn't know it's a fucking Illuminati? God damn, the Illuminati's knocking everybody off, bro. The fuck, man? Of course it's Illuminati. What kind of question is that?
All right, fair enough.
Anyway, so the what happens here is what they're saying, you know, this is all conspiracy theory. Chris Cornell and his wife, Vicky, had a foundation for neglected and abused kids, mostly sexually abused kids that were part of, a lot of them sex trafficked. offenders or what, or would that be, no, sex traffic, what's the word I'm looking for? People that were affected by it, not offenders.
Victims?
Yeah, victims, there you go. I don't know why I can't think of that. But these kids were the victims of sex trafficking and just sexual abuse and stuff, and they had this foundation for it. And supposedly, the theory is that he was about to out some kind of pedophilia ring or a bunch of these, because I guess supposedly in Hollywood there's a big issue with pedophilia.
Yeah.
And with all upper class, so you've seen the shit, the documents of the kids for the politicians. Have you ever seen that, where they're talking about them like their code name, like pieces of candy and stuff?
Oh yeah.
Really weird. But some weird shit. But anyways, the thing is, supposedly Chris Cornell was going to out them, and so he was murdered because of that. And then Chester Bennington was one of his best friends, and he was like with him on the whole thing. Yeah. And he spoke out about it because he was molested when he was a bunch of times when he was young.
Okay.
But so that's the thing, is that they're saying they were killed because they're saying Chris Cornell had like 8 broken ribs and a big laceration on the back of his head.
Really?
Have you heard this? Yeah.
No, I haven't.
But what the coroner and all them have said is that that was from CPR. When they administered CPR to him, they broke his ribs, but the laceration on his head, that doesn't really make much sense. But anyway, you never know.
You never do.
You never know. And that's the thing, though. You think that, well, the coroner said this, the coroner said that. Motherfuckers, there's coroners that worked for the fucking Clintons that fucking were paid off. I mean, it's money at times. If you have the coroner in your fucking pocket and there's something that needs to be done, you pay them enough money, they'll fucking sing like a bird. They'll say whatever the same song you want them to sing, man. Corruption does not, it does not vary. It's in all walks of life, and a lot of time money can make people do real fucked up shit.
Oh yeah. Yeah, corruption isn't even just a government thing, there's corruption in companies and families and everything.
Yep.
But that's pretty messed up. There's always the conspiracy theories that follow with every celebrity death, though.
So absolutely.
Like, you just never really know.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But I mean, there is a problem of pedophilia in Hollywood. Like I've heard Corey Feldman was personally afflicted by it, and he talks out about it a lot.
Yep. I heard Elijah Wood actually talked out about it too.
I think so. I think he was less so, but like he definitely was in some pretty like hairy situations there. With high-ranking Hollywood officials. And I don't know if he was ever really molested or anything like that, but he's
but at a young age, he was all kinds of.
Sure, he was a child star.
Yeah. He was all kinds of shit and around so many different celebrities and shit like that, Yeah, it's I really do. I do believe that there's issues with pedophilia. Yeah. And not on only I think there's a lot of people that corruption of minors. It's sick. It's a disease, dude. It's like, but you got to think back to like the Romans, dude. The Romans had, the Catholic Church. Like they've been having sex with little young boys and stuff forever. That was like the fucking dessert, dude. And that you get to be alone with a young boy. It's so fucking sick. But I mean, I just think for a normal minded person, it's so hard to wrap your brain around it. But obviously there's a thing for it. But yeah, the thing with it, again, I'm not shooting it down. I say it's highly unlikely that Chris Cornell and them were murdered, but and Chester were murdered. But it is weird how they died so close together, good friends.
Yeah, totally.
Killed himself on his birthday. But also I could see some depression too, possibly. Sure. I mean, you look at the songs and the lyrics.
That whole grunge scene was kind of based out of that kind of feeling of teen angst and isolation.
Even Linkin Park, you go back and you really look at the lyrics and you really look at those songs and you think, there's someone that really comes kind of from a dark place.
Right.
There's definitely some sadness and depression. Yeah. I think in it.
Now we're just left with Eddie Vedder. Yep. Which is
Vedder's,
cool with me.
Hey,
I was a huge Pearl Jam fan.
Hey, I like Pearl Jam too. I think you're probably the biggest Pearl Jam fan I know, though.
Maybe.
Probably that I know.
Yeah, possibly. I'm a pretty big fan.
Chris Cornell was a hard one for me. That's
yeah, totally.
Because I was a big Soundgarden fan, huge Audioslave fan.
Yeah.
Audioslave was like
Audioslave is
growing up, like high school, like getting into rock. That was like when I really started getting into rock, and it's just like changed everything for me.
I didn't like them as much as I kind of expected to, like just hearing who all was in the band. Like you have Rage Against the Machine meets Chris Cornell, and you think it's going to be like this really freaking badass stuff, and they did have a couple really badass songs and stuff, but like most of the time I kind of felt a little bored by them, honestly.
Yeah, the first album is, if you go back and listen, the first album is just, to me, it's one of my favorites.
I agree.
ever.
I love that.
Yeah, it's such a Ross Martin, man. We used to get up every morning, take bong hits, and listen to that fucking album.
Right.
And that's memories to that, I guess.
For sure.
But some of the second album, the third album, but the first album, that changed my life.
Yeah,
God damn
that was
it.
good.
But yeah, man. So we've done another hour, almost an hour and a half.
Something like that. I think we started about 10 to 8 or so.
Yeah, about.
We did have a little.
We had some
technical
technical difficulties.
We don't even know if anyone has heard us.
No, I think they did hear us, but we'll see what happens. We can always go back and I can cut all that out and clean it all up before I post it.
It's just the live listeners that were.
Yep. Sorry for all that. But hey, there's going to be some learning curves to this shit. If you guys want this to work seamlessly and flawlessly,
I am happy to be your guinea pig here as your first guest under this new system.
Yeah,
is that right?
yeah, you are. Yeah, you are actually live first guest. You have changed the way, man, that we're doing the RowdCAST now.
Single-handedly, I think I did that.
You did. It was all you, actually.
Yeah.
I couldn't ask for a person to be on. Is there anything you wanted to plug? Anything you want to say? Anything?
The biggest thing I wanted to plug was that rally in Bellevue, and I can't stress that enough. If you're in the Bellevue area, make it out. It's this coming Saturday. What did he say? Like 3 o'clock, I think.
So.
Something like that is when it starts. They're going to have music playing, and it sounds like food vendors, and it's going to be a good time, and everything's going to go to a good cause. So I hope everybody who is able goes out to that. I unfortunately won't be able to make it.
I won't be able to either. I have plans that day, but
but that's what I wanted to kind of stress when I was coming here. This is a pretty big event that means a lot to a lot of people and should mean a lot to a lot of people. And I just want to take our time to spread the word as much as possible if anybody's bothering to listening to us.
I think we had a decent amount, probably 70 or so viewers while we were live. So
that's cool.
Maybe didn't hold.
How many do we have currently?
I think one.
Is anybody listening
one or
right
two.
now?
I think so. I think there's like one or two live listeners. But yeah, man, the stuff that Jake does, awesome.
Yeah.
I grew up with Jake. I've known Jake since I've been about 6 years old. So, good buddy of mine, and I can't. It's amazing the stuff that they've done for the community and continue to do. It's something that this area needs so bad.
Yeah.
That really our nation needs so bad. If more people,
especially the small towns.
Yeah.
It seems like they've been hit.
Yeah.
Way worse.
More people would continue to do that. I sit here and I don't do much. I just talk behind the microphone, so I can't take credit for anything, or I would never try to. But if you are struggling, with addiction, and it doesn't have to be pills, it doesn't have to be heroin, it can be a lot of things. There's so many. It doesn't even have to be drugs or alcohol. There's a lot of things you can have an addiction problem. It can be food. It can be fucking, anything. Don't be afraid to reach out. I know it sounds so cliche, but there's so many people nowadays that are there to help you and do something different, a new way of looking at things. So, with that being said, Dan, how can people? Do you have a Twitter or anything that people could reach out to you? Or
I have a Twitter, but I pretty much just use it for reading. I don't really post on it too much at all.
So look them up on Facebook.
Yeah, Facebook. That works. I've had a couple people add me since you've been advertising that I was coming by the RowdCAST and stuff, and some of them I knew better than others. But it's whatever. I don't care if people want to follow me. I just kind of post stupid bullshit on there anyway. So
fuck yeah, man.
Yeah.
Well, always a pleasure, brother. Always have fun talking to you. Always a good episode with you, and that's why I continue to keep having you back, because we always have a good time, have a bunch of laughs, and
you just let me know anytime you want me to swing in.
And I think I think, yeah, anytime. Oh, dude, we'll do this more. We'll do this more, Dan. That's the thing. You can, dude, if you're getting the itch to do it, a lot of people always hit me up and say, hey, man, I really want to do a podcast. I'm really getting the feeling. Tell me.
This is Sandy, a real Rise credit customer.
My name is Sandy. I've been married for 32 years. And after my husband and I had some health issues, my husband was suddenly retired and all the bills were just overwhelming. And we couldn't get anyone to lend us money. Rise did.
Rise. With $500 to $5,000 in your account, tomorrow's looking up. Visit risecredit.com today. Loans, loan amounts, and repayment terms vary by state. Loans not available in all states. In Ohio, loans are made by a third-party lender. Rise operates in Ohio under Ohio Division of Financial Institutions. Certificate number CS.90086.000.